I will never figure out why all of a sudden people are suggesting, hey, I think maybe something's wrong with Joe Biden. I think maybe he might be, quote, too old. Age has nothing to do with it. Alan Dershowitz is 85 and he's as sharp as a tack. He may be other things, but he's sharp as a tack. He's not walking around yelling, who ordered the veal cutlet like Joe Biden. Don't give me this age business because nobody will say it. He's senescent. He's a dotard. He's hobbled by decrepitude. For the love of God. As a great friend of mine one time said, would you let Joe Biden drive you home from the airport? No. But here's the best part. I've been saying the guy's out of his mind since the election, since 2020. Well, before that. In fact, to be honest with you, since 2016, excuse me, since 2016, this is something which is just, June 26, 2017, pardon me. In Wilmington, apparently they renamed a pool after Joe Biden, where he was a lifeguard as a young man. And there was a ceremony that named the Brown Burton Winchester Park Pool and Bathhouse complex as the Joseph R. Biden Jr. Aquatic Center. And this was one of those events in Wilmington that we saw, or that either surfaced or resurfaced. And this was 7 years ago when he was arguably in better shape than he is now. And when I saw this, I thought, wait a minute, hold it. This guy's out of his gourd. And of course, nobody at the time listened to me, but I'm used to that because nobody listens to me. Little memory lane, shall we? Let me try this again.
Mouse, thank you very, very much.
Forceful, the voice is there. Doesn't have that squint like he's trying to read the Schnellen eye chart.
Thank you. Can I, before we start, hey, all the kids, you want to come up here and listen? Come on up here.
Kids, first of all, we know what that went. Okay, we know what that's about. We didn't know it then, but there's nothing that should scare a tyke more than to be in a room with Joe Biden says, hey, kids, not good.
Come up behind me.
Come behind me. Joe's got that open shirt thing too. He's looks like kind of like Fernando Lamas.
Because I'm not holding up between them and the pool, man.
Man, this is what he does something too. The hey baby, sometimes it be like that. All of a sudden, Joe says, "I'm soul brother number one." Ain't nothing but another homeboy that's got it back to mama crib. What's say, Joe? Wait, what are you? All of a sudden, he's a soul man. There's nothing more, I think, patronizing than that.
Come on. My name's Joe Biden, Vice President Biden. Everybody come on up.
Come on, man. My name is Joe Biden. Well, no, and these kids, now look at these kids are thinking, who in the hell is this guy? I'm here just trying to have some fun. I don't know what this is all about.
There's okay, chair. Look, folks. I want to set the record straight in a couple things. I'll wait till everybody gets up here.
Now they're wondering, why are we here? What is the purpose? I don't know who this man is.
You're on television, so be good. Okay? You are, yeah. See those television cameras?
Come on, he's insisting. He's insisting that he corrals these kids. This is the whole piece, buddy.
All right. Can everybody be quiet for just a minute? You're on TV, so you got to be quiet a little bit.
Now watch this. Listen.
Folks, look, I've received, because of the people of the state of Delaware, I've received an awful lot of wonderful honors.
Yeah.
All my career. The greatest honor was serving you for so long. But this does mean more to me than anything that's happened. My daughter Ashley's with me. My daughter Ashley got her first job down here at Kingswood out of school. She's a social worker.
See, this is where Joe just takes off. Joe just connects into like some cloud storage platform where he imagined some parallel universe where he lived in, and think how much we know now, actually, and look at the level of free fall senescence.
Bo is associated here. Anyway, the point I want to make is I owe you all. I owe this neighborhood. I learned so much. I was a kid from suburbia. I lived out in Mayfield in a split-level home with my grandpop living with us. And
wait a minute. First of all, he was from Scranton. Then somebody told me he lived in Garden City in New York. I mean, this guy's story. Remember the Amtrak and some guy named Angelo. I mean, you hear these stories, but anyway, here's the latest or the version then.
In a 3-bedroom home with 4 kids, my grandpa. And folks, when 100 years ago, but I was a senior in high school, and Przicki turned out to be a great athlete at the University of Delaware, but I was runner-up the state scoring championship here in football. I wasn't bad either. And but
how much you want to bet none of that happened? None. I don't know. I mean, it could be, but how much would you bet that none of it happened?
I wanted to get more involved, and I realized I live in a neighborhood where I'd turn on the television.
Now, by the way, I'm interrupting. I know. I'm sorry. Watch the kids' faces behind them saying, "What am I? Hey, man, we want to have fun and go in the pool. What are you talking about?"
And I'd see and listen to Dr. King and others, but I didn't know any black people.
What?
No, I really didn't. You didn't know any white people either. That's the truth. So I wanted to work here. And there's my daughter, Ashley. Come on up here, Ash. Uh-oh. And so what I did was I came down and I applied to the city of Wilmington for a job.
Uh-huh.
And I was the only white employee here. And I learned so much.
What?
I learned
Okay.
that folks that I work with, like Spencer Henry and Lafayette Jackson and a whole range of people, Jamie Rolls, a lot of great people who are my fellow lifeguards. There were 13 of us. I learned that they treated me as an equal. We used to go in what was not as modern as that. We used to go in the key room at lunchtime after a free swim and sit on the floor because it was nice and cool. And remember Boom Boom Cannon and a few other guys that worked here well.
How much you want to bet there's no Boom? I know, I mean, it could be. How much you want to bet Lafayette, whatever, and Boom Boom Cannon? I mean, seriously.
As well. And we sit there and we talk, and they'd ask me questions because I really was the only white guy they really knew.
Look at the kids. Look at
they'd ask me questions about everything. I mean, things that just startled me. I remember one time, I won't mention which lifeguard, said, "Do I have a jerry can, a 5-gallon can for gasoline?"
What?
And I said, "No, I don't." I said, "But what do you need it for?" He said, we're going down to see my grandmama in North Carolina. We can't stop at most gas stations. They won't let us stop at most gas stations. I learned a lot. And I learned that
he's driving with gas in the. I mean, I guess that's a tragic story. But by the way, kids, don't try that at home. Not safe.
It makes a difference. This was the diving board area, and I was one of the guards. And there weren't allowed to. There was a 3-meter board. What? If you fell off sideways, you landed on the darn cement over there. And Corn Pop was the bad dude.
Here we go. All of a sudden, the kids, did you notice? Here comes Corn Pop was a bad dude. This is when I heard this, I said, wait a minute. This guy's out of his mind. He's out of his mind. He's not there. Nobody listened to me, which is, par for the course.
And he ran a bunch of bad boys. And I did. And back in those days, to show how things have changed, one of the things you had to use, if you used pomade in your hair, you had to wear a bathing cap.
If you use pomade, now, can you see the little girl's face over his left shoulder? Look at him like, pomade. If he mentions Jerry curl or do-rags, I swear to God, I'm going to, I mean, he pomade and the platters wore that oftentimes. I think, who was it? James Brown might have done this as well.
And so he was up on the board, wouldn't listen to me. I said, hey, Esther, you, off the board.
Now it's Esther. What about Corn Pop? Is this another one?
Come up and drag you off. Well, he came off, and he said, I'll meet you outside. My car, these were all public housing behind it. My car, there was a gate out here. I parked my car outside the gate. And he said, I'll be waiting for you. He was waiting for 3 guys in straight razors.
Because he told him to get off the board because he's going to jump in with pomade, didn't have a bathing cap on. And Esther or Corn Pop or somebody else maybe was going to kill him with a straight razor because he disinvited him off the board.
Not a joke. There's a guy named Bill Wright, Mouse, the only white guy, and he did all the pools. He was the mechanic. And I said, what am I going to do? He said, come down here in the basement where mechanics, where all the pool filter is.
Ooh, a little bit of that. Now Joe's going to attribute that to his stutter. Okay, that's the stutter, which we hear that he had, which we've never heard, but that might be a remnant of that.
You know, the chain, there used to be a chain that went across the deep end. And he cut off a 6-foot length of chain. He folded up, he said, you walk out with that chain.
6 feet of chain. We're going to cut chain, all because now he's a city employee, right? Represents the city. And instead of saying, no, you got it all wrong. No, wait. You just have to wear a cap. I know it's a crazy rule, but the water and no, this is like the Jets and the, whatever, the Sharks. This is like West Side Story, Wilmington style.
And you walk to the car and say, you may cut me, man, but I'm going to wrap this chain around your head. I said, you kidding me? He said, no, if you don't come back. And he was right. So I walked out with the chain. And I walked up to my car. And those days, you used to remember the straight razor. You'd bang them on the curb, get them rusty, put them in a rain barrel, get them rusty.
What the hell is this man? Again, look at the kids behind him. He's advocating violence. He's talking about this psychotic connection to something that never happened.
And I looked at him, but I was smart then. I said, first of all, I said, when I tell you get off the board, you get off the board, and I'll kick you out again, but I shouldn't have called you Esther Williams. I apologize for that.
That's Esther Williams.
I apologize, but I didn't know that apology was going to work. He said, you apologize to me? I said, I apologize for that, not for throwing you out, but I apologize for what I said.
Esther Williams.
He said, okay, closed the straight razor, and my heart began to beat again.
Who, by the way, was married to Fernando Lamas. So think about that. Accident, synchronicity, you be the judge.
I came down here because I remember the first bumper sticker I saw that made me aware when I was in law school. Proudly for Holloway.
Okay, all right, that's enough of this. This is my point is simply this. That right there, that message from 2017, that message, that disconnect, that logoria, that accessing parts of imagination and fantasy should have been grounds for permanent and total disqualification from any public office, much less driving a car or possessing sharp objects. But we didn't recognize that then. Today, the Joe Biden today makes that Joe Biden look like Niels Bohr. And we're debating this. And people like Meager and Joe Scarborough are actually saying that he's sharper than ever. This is how disconnected we are from reality. And the very fact that we're proceeding, that somebody doesn't come out and say, okay, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Please, that's enough. That's enough. Joe, you can't do this. You can't do this. You can't do it, Joe, because of, that's the part I will never understand. That's it. That moment. That's it. Corn Pop. And to hear these kids inappropriate. Again, one of the hallmarks in some cases of people who have dementia and certain types of neurological senescence is this hypersexuality, this inappropriate referencing to matters that are certainly and without a doubt wrong. And when he says, Ashley, think how much we know now. Think about it, and look how sharp he was mentally, but deranged. So at his best, and let me also say something, and I'm no physician or a neurologist or a surgeon, and I don't play one on TV. But in the old days when he had that brain surgery, it's not like it is today. They opened your noggin and there's an expression, you ain't the same when the air hits your brain. Just saying, my friends. Don't forget, Corn Pop was a bad dude. Esther Williams, pomade, that was it. And he wants to run again. And there are people who are looking you in the eye and saying he's sharper now than he's ever been. This is North Korean style agitprop nonsense. All right, dear friends, have a great and a glorious day. Please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that bell to be notified of new streams and new videos. And also make sure that you like this video, because liking is so critical to one's stance in the community. And until then, my friend, I always say to comment as you see fit.